Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Acme?
I am doing very well, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you all to all of our studio audience members that's tuned in today to hear about living your calling. I am so excited that we have this guest with us today, and she's going to be sharing with us some tips on why and how we should live our calling. So today we have Acme Torku Sims, and I said that slower because I want to make sure I say it right. And her email is acme@ezrunfolding.com. Phone number is 512-293-9107. And that's for our podcast listeners. It's 512-293-9107. Sometimes we wait throughout the broadcast and people are like, we need that contact information. But see, I hear you guys. When you all are giving feedback, I apply it immediately. So make sure that throughout today's broadcast that you chime in, you share your comments, your thoughts, anything that you would like for us to have our guests answered throughout the broadcast. We'd be happy to pop those comments right in. So Acme is a strategic developer who loves to reach into the chaos and confusion of business and life and create something beautiful and powerful. Her mission is and always has been to see the potential in people and help them be who they already are. I am so excited to have you here today with us, Acme.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you. I just love the fact that you are doing this and having a platform for people to really help other people with where they are. So I really appreciate that.
Well, similar to you, I believe I do a big seminar called Balancing Life in the Midst of Chaos. Mm-hmm. And it's important that we recognize that what looks chaotic doesn't always mean that it really is. It's just a season that we're experiencing in our lives, but God already knew the season that we would be in, you know?
Yes.
And so I'm a big believer in that, and writing a book actually in reference to something similar to that right now. But as we talk with you today, I want us to learn more about your backstory and where you've kind of come from so that we can know where you are at this point and why you're so passionate about it. So take us back wherever you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to go quite from birth, but people ask me where I'm from when they hear my name. And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that because I'm from about 3 or 4 different places.
Okay.
So my background, my parents are from Ghana and West Africa. So that's where my name comes from. Okay. I was born in Oklahoma.
Wait, before you go into the rest of your story, what does Acme have a meaning?
It does.
What does the meaning?
Yes, it means thanks be to God. And I love it. And there's this whole spiritual meaning of it. And then a couple of years ago, my mom said, yeah, your father was just really grateful you weren't born in the car. And I'm like, well, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So grace be to God.
Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
That's her name means thanks be to God. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Actually is the meaning of thanks be to God. Beautiful. Okay.
Yes, and in our culture, my parents are from the Ewe tribe, where if some other people are from there or from that area, we have our day names too. And I was born on a Friday. So, thanks be to God, born on a Friday. And my middle name, or one of my middle names, is Manuela, which is the feminine form of Emmanuel, which is God with us. you
Oh,
know.
nice.
So I like my name, I really do. And it's really funny because I have two sisters and a brother, and they all have English names. They have English names in their day names. I'm the only one that doesn't have an English name. And I'm not the first or the last. So I asked my parents what the deal with that was. And they were like, no, actually, we didn't think about that. I'm like, okay, all right.
But it
Yeah.
was nothing intentional, right?
It
They're
was
like,
not intentional. It just didn't make any sense because people ask me about my sister, my sisters and my brother, and I give them their names, and they're like, wait, what happened there? So, yeah.
well, I love your personality already. This is fun. I can tell you've enjoyed growing up and enjoyed your journey. And I'm sure you've used your name to your advantage many times over.
Oh yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you
I
to
think
God for me
I don't. The only time when I don't like it is when people don't use their cognitive reasoning because you don't see it many times, and so they're like, "Wait, what, Anthony?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna need you to use your brain because do not look like an Anthony." Yes,
No, you do not look like an Anthony at all. So no.
yes, exactly. So, but other than that, having my name, you can't grow up thin skinned because it's just going to happen, and I'm okay with that. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and then I was born in Oklahoma. Don't remember that at all. But I grew up in mid-state New York. My dad taught in Florida for a little bit, but in mid-state New York, Poughkeepsie, for those who may know where it is. Another hard name, yes. So I grew up there in mid-state New York, and then got transferred while I was in high school. That's my traumatic event, that happened. I advise.
But why was it traumatic for you?
I advise parents not to move their kids while they're in high school because that is it's a very developmental time, and it's it's difficult. It's difficult. It's not like difficult as far as like parents being divorced or all that stuff, but when you're in high school, that's your social world is there, and then you're moving halfway across the country and starting all over again.
Wow, that's really good feedback because a lot of parents do. I don't want to say only think about what they have going on, but our children, and I say this often, but our children have their own level of stressors and
Yes.
things that matter to them, and their friends matter, their social circle matters, and if we just up and uproot them out of the whole opposite side of the world, that can significantly impact them.
Yeah, if there's a move coming, I would advise people to do it before they hit high school. It's still hard enough, but they haven't started their high school journey, or maybe afterwards. Keep those 4 years stable because that's really, really hard.
That's
just
correct.
difficult. So it went from, and not only did we move, we went from New York to Texas. So that was like two different worlds right there.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was very, very good for me because I was developing, and my spiritual journey there to Texas really kind of came to a culmination, and really understanding a little bit more of who I was, what I was doing a little bit more.
Okay.
Spent some different times reassessing what I wanted to do when I grew up. But that's one of the defining times I would have to say there. So Texas was the longest place that I lived. I went back to New York City with one of my jobs, and then moved to Florida for a year, and then North Carolina. So that's where I'm from. That's the long story of where.
That's a lot of froms. I understand.
Yeah. So people ask me, I'm like, where are you from? I'm like, where do I live? Where did I grow up? Where did I spend my most time? Was I born?
Where are my origins? Where? What?
Yes.
What do you want to know? Ask me a question, which means, and I'll tell you. This is
Yes.
good.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
So now you ultimately end up in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and by way of lots of different locations. Some
Yes.
a little more traumatic than others. High school experience.
Yes.
So when you got here, what's happened in your life since that time?
So so let me back up a little bit to my transition from Texas to here via Florida. Is
Okay.
that I was working with a nonprofit college organization,
Okay.
and I was doing Jack or Jill of all trades. I was doing a lot of things. And that's one thing that has always come to me sort of naturally, is to be able to do a lot of things. And I was doing a lot of coaching on the side, mentoring, staff development. Love that. Hated the business admin, like the benefits and all that stuff. I was like, this is just annoying and boring. I don't like this
Right.
part. But like speaking into people and helping people discover, who they are and what they want to do. That's something that has always been like a huge part of me. And
Yeah.
as a staff, we took what is it, the strengths finders, the Clifton Strengths,
Oh yeah.
tests. And it was interesting at the time, but I set it on the back burner, and I'll get back to that because that was another like defining moment. And so, but through those 7 years, or almost 7 years, I really understood that I love people. I love people, and I love people's coming into their own, and realizing that people do have a potential. Oh, back up. I was also a missionary for 2 years, and a foreign missionary, and I went to a lot of different places. And that's one thing that was very consistent, that everywhere I went, I was working with people and talking with people and helping them. And that's one of the consistent things that they said, is that you really look into me and see something that I never really saw before. And I'm like, but it's there. You should see it.
When you became a missionary, was it like through your church, or you just started doing mission work? What made you just out of the blue start becoming a missionary?
So my I think it was my freshman or sophomore year in college, I had no clue what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I was just, I went to church one day, and there was a missionary talking about like being Spanish speaker in Ireland. I remember that part of that. And I was like, that's interesting. And at the time I had Spanish, and I was also taking French. And so as I was listening to that, I felt like I was dropped in a well. Like one of those moments where you are just taken out of the current situations. And I felt like I was supposed to carry the love that I have for people, and the love of languages that I have out into the world. And I was like, oh, okay. So I double degree in Spanish and French at the University of Texas. I'm an overachiever. I also almost got my I'm just remembering a lot of things as we talk. And I also almost got my business certification. But my senior year in college, my apartment was destroyed by a fire. So I had to drop some classes, and to be able to, I was like living on people's couches for about 6 weeks. Interesting. I haven't thought about
you have that. It's a fire that took your stuff, right? And if we're talking about just total transparency, sometimes for me, Kim Jacobs, I've had stuff taken that I was like, I don't even know who has the stuff, because it was like in a unit, and it wasn't paid, and I was like, oh, I don't know who has my stuff. It's like my real valuable thing. So hey, if you have it out there in the community, and God puts it in your heart to give it
Please
back,
give it back.
Oh, you never know. God might just touch somebody's heart out there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have the stuff anymore. What, the whole unit got what is it, repossessed when the unit gets? I don't know what happened, but I know one thing is gone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Gone. That's what I do know. Okay, so every once in a while, y'all gets a little snippet of Kim Jacobs. All right, go ahead. Carry on. Not that I don't know why a burn.
Oh, yeah, we lost things. It's a loss.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And I'm trying to.
You're perfect for me. You're perfect for me, because you're talking. We're talking at the same time. You're like, yeah. Stuff happens. Okay, go ahead.
I am glad I could be of service to you. This is great. This is fantastic. So I'm trying to remember why I went down
Well, you
that
did that because it was for me to confess. That's why. I don't know. I have no clue. Why did you do that? Did you not? Do you have my stuff, Acme? No, just
I don't have your stuff. Like, yeah, we were talking about missionary, and I was talking about, oh yeah, why did I become a missionary? And it was during that time, that like right after that, I started working, and I had this thought. It was like, well, I'm supposed to be a missionary. What am I doing working? And so through, I think it was like 3 years later that I finally had the opportunity to do that. And so most people start off small. I went to Haiti. Um,
what?
yeah.
So, wait. Did you know people? Did you know
Oh no.
people?
Oh no. I
Who
just
did you
went.
go with?
I went with Youth with a Mission.
Okay, so the point is
Yes,
you went with an organized group.
I did. And a lot of people go with friends or a partner, all that stuff. I just went off. I was like, this is where I'm going. This is where I headed. So yeah, I did that for 2 years, and I was in Haiti, I was in Jamaica, I was in Scotland, I was in Hungary, I was in France,
Wow.
I was in England. I'm trying to remember all the places I had been going, but during all those times when I'm talking with other people, whether it's the people that I'm working with or the people that we're ministering to, when I talk with them, I listen, and listen to where they are. And a lot of the time, some of what is inside them wells up, and I just speak to that. I address that. And they're like, oh, well,
I
no, I
think
never thought about this.
no, Akpani. I think what's happening is you have some kind of special gift over there, right? And if anybody agrees with me that's watching, because the way she's wording stuff, she ends up making you, she said, oh, it's just something wells up inside of them and they decide to start telling me things. And then I start to identify with them. No, 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 no. I think that you've been through some kind of training that gets people to start confessing stuff.
I have not. That's
Pouring
the
out their
thing.
soul.
I have not. I have not been through some sort of training. In fact, I've seen some of these trainings where they teach you how to do this, and I'm like, but doesn't everybody know how to do this? And I'm like,
Right,
oh,
right.
oh no, I guess that's not
No,
a
it's
thing.
not
So,
everyone's gift or everyone's calling. And actually, that's what we're talking about today is
mhm,
living your calling right here on the Kim Jacobs Show with Acme.
mhm.
And I got to say the whole name. You can't just say Acme Sims. So I have to say Acme Torque Sims on
Yes.
purpose because we'll talk about why that whole name is
Mm,
so important. But right now, what we're going to do, Acme, is take a quick commercial break. And then right after
absolutely.
this break, we're going to come back and learn more about living your calling as we're talking with Acme. And today's episode is sponsored by Snow Legal Group, snowlegal.com. You can reach them at 704-358-0026. And you can also email them at info@snowlegal.com. And they'll give you a free consultation if you let them know that you heard about them right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So let's learn more about Snow Legal now.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. Glad to have you all back with us. Make sure you type your name and tell us where you're visiting in from so I can pull your comments into today's discussion. And Acme, you're talking to us tell us about your name, first of all, why Acme Torku Sims is the whole thing. And it has
Okay,
to be.
yeah. Well, I shared with you that Akpenny, my parents are from Ghana and West Africa, so that's where that comes from. But I have a double, I guess what you call double barreled, but it's not hyphenated because I wanted to be able to use one or the other. But I just recently got married a year and a month ago today, actually. Thank you. And so when we were getting married, I just assumed I would take his name because I'm okay with that. I'm
Right.
like I'm I'm confident in who I am and I'm okay with that. And my husband's like, well, that's fine, but you've had your business for longer than you've known me, and you've built your brand on your business. So I think you
Right.
should keep your name. And I'm like, oh, that's really sweet, but I'm taking your name.
Okay.
But
So you took on Sims?
yes, I took on Sims, and people were as I was talking with some of my colleagues, and they said, well, Torku Sims is an awesome name. You should use that.
It's nice. I
Um,
love it.
and so I can, people who knew me as Akpenny Torku can still find me. But then, and I specifically chose to not hyphenate it because I can legally put my name as Akpenny Torku or as Akpenny Sims, and that's still my legal name.
Very
But my husband has
nice.
been so encouraging and so wonderful. So that's why I use Torku Sims so that people can find me for who from before I was married. But
Wonderful.
I'm wearing my husband's name as a badge of honor. So
Oh, that is so wonderful. And I do agree that anytime you're married, to be able to have your husband's name, it is a badge of honor. And I think
mhm.
that's just honorable. So I am so excited. And
Yeah.
hey, as the studio audience, tell us your philosophy. Do you believe you should keep your last name, your existing last name, or
Mhm.
do you think you should change your last name if you are remarrying? Oh,
Mhm.
wow. Now, was Torku your actual
My
maiden name, or were
mhm.
you married before?
No, Torku is my maiden name. Yes.
Okay, so this is
Yeah.
your first marriage too?
This is my first marriage. Yes.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited for you. And
This
I'm
is my
getting
only marriage. I'm claiming that right now.
that's
This is
it.
not my
Yeah.
first marriage. It's my only marriage.
That,
There's too much crap to deal
yeah.
with to actually want to do this again. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, who wants to ever have to marry again in life? I can
Yeah.
no, that's a whole lot, right? It's like
Yes,
that's a whole
exactly. Yeah.
event in itself. It's like, oh Lord, why? Oh, that is
Yes.
awesome. That is wonderful. And
Yeah.
congratulations to you. Now, I don't have a picture of you and your husband because I know you're not active on social media that much we did everything we could to find something, but
Oh yeah. I apologize about that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I need a picture.
Neither of us are active on social media. That's one of those things where we like our private lives to remain private. And so I'm on LinkedIn. He's on LinkedIn. We both were not on Facebook, and for a period of about 6 weeks to 2 months, we went on Facebook to post our wedding pictures, and then we were off. Like,
Oh, so your wedding pictures are on Facebook somewhere?
yes, yeah. So if you find me on Facebook, you probably have to be connected. I have to figure out those
Oh yeah,
settings.
because the thing is, I think
Yes.
you're trying to block the whole world from being able to get into. We're gifted at this, Cassandra and I, right? She's shaking her
Mhm.
head like, yes, we are. All right, so maybe before the
Yes.
end of the broadcast, we'll have something. If not, then
Yeah.
just know that she's married to Mr. Sims. That's all you need to know out there.
Yes. Yes.
Private. All right. All right, everybody. But
Yeah.
hey, maybe that'll make things be that one time only because everybody's not in your business.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. No, it could be. So we're very thrilled, very happy with one another, and just the fact that he supports me in what I'm doing, and I support him and speaking into his life, and we're changing each other, and so it's a good thing. So
I love it. Listen,
mhm.
we're talking with Akpenny Torku Sims, and what I want us to transition to is to start discussing living your calling.
Yes.
What does living your calling look like from your perspective?
So I actually had a conversation with one of my colleagues, and he's a videographer, and he does videography, and he started at like 57.
Okay.
And he said that people have asked him, when are you going to retire? And his question was, to what? For what purpose? And he says, I love what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. So when am I going to retire? Go buy a yacht? Go sailing? Or what? Like what? Why would I retire? And that's kind of where I'm coming from. Is if you're doing what you love, doing what you want to do, then retirement is a non-issue. So people have different personalities. My husband is one of these where he loves drawing. He's a very creative person, but he's not going to do that as a living. He's
Right.
doing something else right now to pay the bills. And then, but he's continuing his drawing. He's continuing his, oh my gosh, he's so incredibly creative. It's amazing. He's making a chess set for my nieces and nephews for Christmas. He's making it. He made up a chess game. Like, I just love his creativity. But that's
I think
what
you just love him overall.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
Even if he didn't know how to make a chess set
Yeah.
from scratch, I would think that you just simply adore him. That's
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But this is something that he loves to do, and he recognizes that that's something that he wouldn't want to do. He wouldn't want other people telling him what to make, when to make it on a time frame. And that part is his calling, and that's understanding, okay, this is my calling, and this is what I would want. This is what I like to do. This is what I love to do. And I don't want to do it in a 9-to-5. And he's not in entrepreneur mindset. So he's going to do his 9-to-5, but he's going to do this. That really satisfies who he is. And so living your calling doesn't mean that we're all going to become entrepreneurs and business makers. Living your calling is understanding who you are, who you were made to be, and knowing what that compelling yes is, and achieving that however you can. So if it means that that's what you're going to do from day to day, do it. Surround yourself with people who believe in you and understand you. And if you don't know what that is, start exploring. It's never too late. Like my friend, he was 57. You hear stories about people who have started later in life, and it's okay, because quite honestly, in the system that we are herded to get a profession, and we're not really understanding what it is to live out from your heart and from your calling. So part of my business is called Azer Unfolding. It comes from the Hebrew word Azer, which means help. And that if you look at it in scripture, the type of word help that it uses, it's used one time for help or aid, but it's used 22 times for military aid. So it basically means it's somebody who comes in and helps you to victory. And
wow.
So I chose Azer Unfolding because I want to help you unfold what's inside of you. And I want you to get you to unlock your potential and live you.
Wow.
So
okay, you're saying some good stuff here.
Sorry, I'm going real fast. Yes.
No, this is good though. We're talking with Acme Torku Sims, and her contact information is right here for you all. Acme at easyrunfolding.com. 512-293-9107 is how you stay connected with her. And today's episode is also sponsored by Silver Shield Security. And Silver Shield Security offers state-of-the-art equipment. They have night vision cameras, you name it, they pretty much have it. Their phone number is 704-440-4688. And you can also find them at silvershield-security.com. Let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way, if you should reach out or when you reach out, because you definitely want to reach out, okay? And we're going to learn more about Silver Shield Security now. And when we come back, we're going to talk more with Acme. Wow, Azer, I love that. Love it, love it.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we're back with Acme, and she's talking to us about living our calling. But as she talks about living our calling, guess what Inspector Gadget Cassandra did backstage? Yes,
Of course.
yes.
Yep, that's him. That's
We
my
found
baby.
it. Thank you, Cassandra. Bravo. You can't get anything pulled over our eyes. Oh,
Yep,
look at
yep.
Mr. Sims. What's his first name?
His name is Kenneth. Ken. Yeah.
Go ahead, Kenneth Sims.
Mhm.
Snatched up Acme Torku, and now she's Acme Torku Sims. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited. While I'm putting pictures up, I'll tell you this too, that tomorrow here on the Kim Jacobs Show, we have a woman that's gone from homeless to millionaires. Her name is Tess Sims, and she's the queen of increase. So if you want to know how to increase things in your life, then you want to go ahead and tune in on tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and she's going to teach us how. Wow. Okay, so talk to us, Akbani.
Yeah.
Calling.
Yes. So I told you I was working with this organization for about 7 years, talking to people and really understanding about really helping people. And so I got to one point where I literally just woke up one day and I felt like, okay, my time there is not done. Right. And I'm like, okay, what do I do next? Have no clue. So the next year is what I affectionately call the year from hell, because I was just in a confusion. And that's the year where I say I was searching for what I wanted to do when I grew up. After having been in the work world for over 10 years, still trying to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And I moved during that time, had a relationship that broke down during that time as well. And as I was searching, meditating, praying, talking with people around me, people were like, you are incredibly encouraging and very, very gifted at helping people find their path. And I was like, okay. Well, I don't want to become a counselor because I love what counselors do. They help people uncover their past and heal from their past. But I want to look forward. I want to encourage people forward movement. And they say, well, that's what coaches do. I'm like, you can get paid for that? Like, I've been doing that for free for all this time. Like,
you are hilarious. Yes, you can get paid to coach.
Yeah.
Develop people.
Yeah. And so I got my coaching certification. I went through International Coaching Federation through one of their programs. At the same time, I have a business process mindset. And so I was trying to pick up some contracts and whatnot. And I had a friend of mine who I had worked with. They said, well, you should be a project manager. And I was like, I can't be a project manager. I don't know anything about that. He goes, girl, you are that. You are
a project manager.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So I went and I found some certification courses. So I was taking the course and I'm like, oh, I know that. I didn't know that's what that was called. And I knew that. So I got my, I think, 6 Sigma green belt certification within about 3 months. And so I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And so got some freelance projects while I was starting to establish my coaching practice. And moving forward, I was doing life and business coaching, and I realized a lot of, and I still do that, but a lot of small businesses have a really good idea and a vision of what they want to do and what they want to be, but they have no idea how to run a business. So that's where my process management and building the foundations help with doing small business. I'm a huge proponent of small businesses and helping leadership in like small to mid-sized businesses care about what happens with their most important resource, which is humans. And so I'm also helping with change management, because if we've learned something over the last year and a half, is that some of the changes people and companies had to go through have not always been in the best interest of, their employees. And so change management is on a huge demand and a huge rise. Mm-hmm. So I want to be able to help in that way. But as far as the small businesses, I feel like this country should run on small businesses because that's who we are. And I honestly feel like that makes us more stable. So having people understand, okay, what do I have to offer? And is that something that other people want? And so I answer that in the backwards way, is that, yes, this is what people want if you are living who you are. So
that's so good. So if you're living who you are and that's what people need and that's what people want, then you kind of go and go back and figure out what you can do to bring value to those situations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely love it. And I often teach people too that go through my course. If you haven't been through the course yet, make sure that you take advantage of it. And it's through Kim Jacobs Consulting And what I do in the training is I teach people to identify who your specific target audience is. Who should you really be directing and gearing your show towards? Now, general people are going to come anyway automatically, but you still have to have that specific customer type that's going to be the person that is customized for your viewership. So when you're talking to someone, like if you were talking to someone, if you were in my class, I would do this, right? So you would be talking to someone that is a very specific person that we've narrowed it down and identified. We've given the person a name, we've given them an age. We talked about what their income level is, and you've kind of customize all of this, right? So like yesterday I had a client on, and we customized who her particular avatar is. And if I was talking to that avatar, I would say, now listen, I know you enjoy shopping online, and I know that all of your girlfriends come to you for advice, but guess what? At the end of the day, you need someone that you can lean on. You've been everybody else's rock, but there's a time that you need that to be able to lean yourself, to be able to get advice from someone else other than you always being the advice giver. If that's you, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tune into and blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love what you're saying there. And I do talk to a lot of people. My particular angle is startups, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, because that's where they need my help the most. And I am a big believer in building a network and really leveraging your strengths and incorporating your weaknesses into a body, being interpersonal and interdependent. I have a network of people that can do what I don't want to do or what I can't do, because I want to be the best at what I do. So
let me stop you. What I would say if I was training you, I would say, listen, you already know how to operate business. You already have a small business. You're knowing the ins and outs. You're meeting your deadlines. You're exceeding the expectations of your customers. But at the end of the day, there are some things that's just really inundating you. It's overwhelming you. And you need to be connected to the proper resources that help you take some of the things off of your plate. So listen, I want you to tune in and I would just give your show. If you were in my class, this is what I'd be doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you'd be talking directly to your target market and your person. And then those particular people would be the ones that would want to learn more about your show.
And then as people move through, I want to work myself out of them. Well, not out of my business, but out of their business. Correct. Because once they succeed, that's my goal, to see them succeed. So if they are succeeding and they're growing, I have 2 or 3 other people that their whole thing is about growth and about building up and all that stuff. So I have probably enough contacts for people to be helped and guided on their journey. Actually, I was going to say for the first 5 or 6 years, but I've actually recently connected with a couple of exit strategy coaches. So I know people to get you from starting a business to exiting your business.
Okay, now I have never, and Cassandra can definitely vouch for this, I have not ever done official role playing of someone's potential show on my show doing the interview with them, right? Have I, Cassandra? I know you backstage and nobody can see you, but no, I have never done that, right? Never, ever. No. But I'm telling you that what you're offering is something that would be a great show for people to be able to tap into for those resources. So after the show, we can talk about that more. But anyway, you all make sure you learn from Acme, because what she's offering is invaluable. And it's, as she said, exit strategies. You're getting an opportunity to be able to expand your small business by being able to connect to proper contracts, projects that you may be overlooking. It may be some freelance opportunities. All of these are resources that Acme has. Now I've turned it into a whole commercial for Acme. Right?
I really didn't mean for that. Yes, no, not at all.
The point is, she has all of these wonderful tools, and it would help you be able to further live your calling, because as she's already stated, you're living your 9 to 5 temporarily until you can get free to go and live your calling full time, is what I think I'm hearing, right?
Yes. And some people, their 9 to 5 is what they're going to do to make money. And then when it comes to retirement, then they reinvent themselves. And what I'm saying is know what you want to do, so that when retirement comes, you're already doing what you want.
That's right. It's already what you're passionate about and what you
Right.
love. So whether you get paid for it or not wouldn't really necessarily matter, because you're going to do it regardless.
Right. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Okay. Wow. Let's see what any studio audience comments.
Mhm.
Let's see. Great day to you too, Pamela Howard. Pamela Howard is one of our Mother Dreamer members in our Mother
Yes.
Dreamer movement. And she has a lot of event planning skills.
Yes. I've met Pamela.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yes.
if you haven't met Pamela, you need to know Pamela Howard, because she has one of the most professional event planning platforms that
Mhm.
exist. And she also works with, keeping your wellness in check and some
Mhm.
things that she's personally doing as well. But she's wonderful to know.
That's
Very glad.
great. That's great.
Let's see. I see different ones. I see you, Angela Dennis, and nice to see you on today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you all have questions, I see you, Mommy, as well. Glad to have you on today. If you have any questions of our guest today, she's talking about living your calling. Does anybody have any questions about living your calling, your purpose, what you're supposed to be doing in life? Then ask your questions.
And while people are thinking about that, over time, as I was talking to people, my clients and other people, I realized that I was answering a lot of the same questions. So I actually pulled together a course called Slaying Giants. Was really, really excited about that. So in that course, I go over acknowledging that we do need to acknowledge that we do have giants in our life. And one of the things that I point out is that giants are not always there to take us down. Sometimes giants are there to help us grow, but we can't face them if we don't acknowledge that they're there. And then we go into talking about your identity. And I spend a lot of time on that and who you are and what you look like, and kind of knowing, I compare this to knowing that you're a David and that you use a sling instead of Saul's armor. So you want to know who you are. You want to know what your strengths are. You want to know what your weaknesses are, so that you can leverage your strengths, instead of spending a lot of time on your weaknesses. Your weaknesses, yeah, you want to overcome them, but if you spend more time on your weaknesses, your strengths are let lie fallow.
That is
So
such
we
good
want
advice.
to, yeah, really adjust that. And then we talk about discipline. Okay, so as we're looking at that, what does that look like? How do we do the day-to-day? How do we do the daily? And then I talk about interpersonal communications or interdependence. And I feel like this is the core of that, is that we can't do this alone. And I make the comment that if you are a giant killer, you have to surround yourself with other giant killers, because other people will not run in the same pack. And you don't want to have people that think the same as you, but you want to have people who say, yes, I encourage you. And you want to have people who have different opinions than you, so that you can see different perspectives.
That's right.
Yeah.
I love it. I
And
love
then-
everything that you're saying. That's incredible advice.
Yeah.
So if you're living your calling, everything that Acme says, ditto. That's what I feel too. So I don't have to repeat it. It's just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Listen, today is also sponsored by attorney Charles Everidge from Hunter Everidge Law Firm. And I want to put their information up for you as well. Hunter-Everidge.com is their site. They are located in the Charlotte area, in the Richmond area, and now in the Alabama area. 704-377-9157. And you can let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And as you learn more about Hunter Everidge Law Firm, what I want you to know is that they focus on Social Security disability, SSI supplemental, workers' comp, wrongful death of a loved one, all kinds of things. So make sure that you check them out.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
Everyone, and we are back talking with Acme about living your calling. So, Acme, what other advice do you have for everyone that's watching today?
Okay, so I actually have several. There's one that I heard, I think last year, that I keep on a sticky note in front of me because it's just really, really good. It's from Thomas Edison, and it says, "Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and look like work." I actually really love this because a lot of people will want to get somewhere or something, and they will say, well, I don't have the opportunity, or it hasn't landed in my lap. Opportunity is not about that. It's about doing the preparation. What you do behind closed doors is what is important. And so you start comparing yourself to other people who are already successful. You don't know what they went through to get there. And a lot of people did the work in order to get there. And a very small amount of people are the ones that get lucky. And honestly, getting lucky is where preparation meets opportunity. And so if you want to go somewhere, and if you want to, be someone, if you want to do something, you need to have the mindset that I'm going to do this, I'm going to work, so that when the opportunity meets you, you're already ready for it.
That's right.
And so
yeah, I'm glad you said that, because that happened to me when I was filming my show at the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio. I literally met someone at a networking event. We shared for 1 minute, 1 minute, what it is that we wanted to have as our goal or our dream to come true. During that 1 minute roundtable discussion, one of the other 8 people in that circle gave me their phone number and said, let's connect for coffee. Well, I connected with the lady for coffee, went and met her. She wanted to meet at this old abandoned building. I was like, I don't know you like that. I don't know. I just don't know you like that.
Yeah.
So like, where are we going? What is this? And I'm very, very suspect of stuff. Like, obviously not suspect enough, because there's things that still just slip through the cracks in my life that I wasn't suspect on. But other than that, I'm usually on high alert, paying attention to whatever. But I did meet her, and we went to this abandoned building. And when we walked in, there were like 25 people, Acme, that was there. They had lights coming from the ceiling. Is a gorgeous building. And as I found out, it was the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio, right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous building. And they had one chair sitting under high beam lights. And I was like, what's happening here? She said, well, you said that your dream is to be a talk show host. And so this is the crew. We have an opportunity on PBS, but guess what? We don't have the host, the talent. So what we want you to do is sit down, act like it's your 100th show, and let's see what you're made of. Well, I came on there, I was like, what? Yes, Lord. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Kim Jacobs, and today I would like to welcome you to Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs. Today's guest is Mother Love. Mother Love is here to talk to us about how she's lost half her weight, because she said that just a little bit of sugar can cause a lot of damage. This lady's lived with diabetes and then I went right on, just like I was like filming a show.
That's wonderful.
But it went well. So when you're talking about being able to identify your calling and be ready for the opportunity, not having to get ready, but being ready. Yeah. And that was a moment that became a reality, all because I believe, because I was practicing over the years when I was a kid. And I had been muting the television, Acme, and repeating everything that Oprah was saying when I was in my teenage years. I was like, yes, welcome to the stage, my friend, my girlfriend, none other than Gail. And I would just be reading the closed captions.
If that is what you want, practice it, rehearse it, keep going with that, and find people. Like, again, I'm a huge proponent of being in community. Find people who will encourage that, will give you opportunities, will help you learn, and don't give up. If it's a dream that you have, figure it out. Just figure it out. Man, sometimes the path is not going to be as you expected. A lot of people think we're going to go from A to B to C to D. Sometimes you're going to go from A to Q, back to B, then to Z. And you're like, what's what just
What just happened?
what just happened? Like,
And
yeah.
you don't even know the day nor the hour that it's going to. Well, this is all biblical what I'm yelling out,
Right.
but
Yeah.
the point is you don't know the day nor the hour of when things can happen or transpire that you just couldn't even imagined it because it hadn't
Right.
even entered into your thought, but
Mhm.
yet it was for you, and what's for you is going to happen for you.
Right.
I believe
Yeah. So, and another thing, and it ties into that, is that I tell people that falling is not failure, and failure is not final. You fall down, you get back up, and you keep doing that. And sometimes the fastest way to your success is a U-turn. You have figured out that you have reached a roadblock. You don't sit down and throw yourself a pity party that you can't do this. Oh, I can't. I'm like, get that word out of your dictionary.
Right.
It's like,
To me,
I have
can't equals
reached
won't
an
try.
obstacle. Yes, I have reached an obstacle. What am I going to do about this? Is this obstacle going to beat me? Am I going to become bitter? Or am I going to become better?
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I agree with everything that you're saying. So listen, we're talking with Acme Torque Sims, and she has been sharing information with us on how we can live our calling. Her phone number is 512-293-9107. Email is acme and it's AKPENE for the podcast listeners at easyrunfolding.com. All right, so
Ooh, I just realized that there was a little mistake in there. It's EZER.
oh, you know what? That's why Cassandra's putting that
Yeah.
backstage. Then she probably caught that. So let me just put what she put.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'll do?
Yeah, I just
put the correct
it looked
one.
right. There's too many letters and it's uncommon. So I'm like, yeah, it looks right. That's good.
So EZER run folding.
Yeah. So it's Azer unfolding, but it looks like easy run folding. Yep, that's it.
Okay. But Cassandra had already put it properly. So it's in your comment section.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm just gonna pop her in because look at this. Look, when she's right, this is what she's backstage doing. She's sitting like, I told you. Stop worrying about the back office. Let me do this. And
that's what I'm here for, to just make sure that our viewing audience gets it in the comments. It's okay.
but you were sitting like this, like.
Did you not see me post that 3 times?
I was like, eventually she'll stop trying to do it all and just
eventually
just trust that I got her back here.
And I heard you saying that, and I was like, yeah, that sounds right. That's fine.
Meanwhile, I've been putting it up wrong the whole time, but anyway, thank you, Cassandra.
You're very welcome.
I humbly appreciate you. Okay. All right. So that's awesome because Cassandra, she had the whole right thing over there, and I was like, but I didn't catch it either because there's so many words.
Right.
But there you are, Ezer, AKPENE at EZER runfolding.com. Phone number is 512-293-9107. Awesome. So I do want to take a moment to acknowledge another one of our episode sponsors today, and that is none other than Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home is located in the Concord, North Carolina area. Their phone number is 704-782-3011, or you can also visit lambfuneral.com. Now, with Lamb Funeral, I'll share with you their website. And here is what you'll need to know, that they are certified in all 50 states. So even if you're not in the Concord, North Carolina area, you can still reach out to them. Their phone number is 704-782-3011. And they have a truly caring atmosphere with over 28 years of funeral home experience. And Mr. Lamb, who's in charge of the funeral home, actually is a veteran. So if you have any questions relating to being a veteran, a dependent, adult child, or a spouse of a veteran, you definitely want to reach out. You're going to learn things like what to expect, immediate needs that take place when someone passes away, and funeral pre-planning. And that's with everything that's been going on regarding COVID and families passing away at astronomical, imaginable rates, you want to reach out to Lamb Funeral Home, 704-782-3011, and get your questions answered and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, so we're talking with Acme. Acme, any final thoughts that you have for our viewers today?
I think one of the last final thoughts is that it's never too late, no matter where you are, whether you're listening as you're in college or even before college, or whether you're on the cusp of retirement, or honestly, if you're like in the 70s, like my mom is in her 70s and she's wanting to go to school to get her phlebotomy license. Do it. Just do it. Because you're unique, you're special, and you are designed for something. And so it really is never too late. Absolutely. So don't feel like life has passed you by, unless you're just willing to live with regret. And who wants to do that? So
Who wants to live? Please, let's not live with regret. If it's something inside of you, it's meant to be utilized. It's a gift that's there for a reason. So let it come out and let it bless the rest of the world. And I often tell people that, listen, the whole world misses out. If you don't use your gifts and your talents that you've been blessed with, we miss out. So please don't worry about all the details. Get going, because your gifts and your talents are needed. And if it's what God called you to do, do it. Do it.
And you find out if you get going. That's another thing I teach, is that you can't drive a parked car. At least freaking put it in neutral and roll down the hill. But get going. You will find that as you get going, you will get the resources that you need. You'll get a better direction. But at least, point in direction and get going. So, yeah.
I love it. You've just been such a tremendous blessing today to the Kim Jacobs Show and to our viewers. And I'm so excited about everything that you've shared. Wow. It's hard to even summarize it, because it's just so impactful and so helpful. So I'm really grateful for everything that you've shared today. What I'll also do is I will let everybody know that you might not know this, but I'll tell you guys now that here we go. If you don't know who's on the cover of Pride Magazine for this month and for next month, it's some of the Jacobs crew here. This is Gabe is in heaven. We know you have Pastor Frank Jacobs back over there in the corner. And then you have the rest of the crew here with our children. And the primary focus of this particular article is focusing on our children that live with cystic fibrosis. And so if you haven't picked up a copy, one of our daughters, she lives with cystic fibrosis, but she kicks it in the head every day. And so if you have not gotten a copy of Pride Magazine, and it's in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, focusing on African-American families and it's actually been some cultural diversity that was included recently too, last month, if I'm not mistaken. But these are our children. This particular one, he wants to be the first NFL player that lives with cystic fibrosis, and Jeremiah wants to be the first famous actor that lives with cystic fibrosis, and Jayla is she's a gardener, she's an animator, she's a YouTube creator, you name it. So it's a lot of great things that our children are doing. And they are not limited by what many people know is this life-limiting disease. So if you haven't gotten a copy of Pride Magazine for the month of September and October, I just want to thank Dee Dixon and the entire Pride Magazine staff for selecting the Jacobs crew here, for giving our children's opportunity to share their story and their journey of cystic fibrosis. I can't even imagine what goes on in their lungs. I see the routine, Acme, what happens daily, and the amount of shaking, and it's unimaginable. It's just unimaginable. It's unimaginable what's happening. But the team that God has given them, with the medical team and so forth, is an amazing group of people that work with them. So all of the information there, the article, if you would like to check it out, is right there in the comments section. And let me go back and put this lovely guest up. Our way for you to stay connected with her is Acme at EZERUNfolding.com, at Ezer unfolding.com. 512-293-9107, 512-293-9107. Closing thought?
Oh, for me? Yes.
Yeah, closing comment?
Honestly, just be uniquely you, be who you are. It's the only one that you are. So just the world needs it. Be you.
Yay! Thank you all for tuning in today. Tune in tomorrow. From homeless to millionaires, Tess Timms will be here. She is the queen of increase. And go ahead and let all of your friends and family know. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Thank you for being so amazing, Acme. Didn't that hour go fast?
Oh, it did. Yeah, I looked at the time and I was like, whoa.
All right. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m. And I know Cassandra's like, yes, she finally ended on time. I'll pull you in, Cassandra. There you go. What did you just do, Cassandra? Were you clapping?
That's
like,
fantastic.
finally, click off. It's over. All right. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.